Hey guys, so it's time for me to say goodbye to Lost Ark after a year of playing. I think it's the perfect time to quit the game after completing Brel Hard, but to be honest, even I didn't complete it, still going to quit the game. But I'm glad that I reached my goal before I quit. Well, I'm not going to rant about why I quit the game because there's already tons of videos about why people quit the game over and over mumbling about stuff that was bought like years ago, which is kind of old. Instead, I kind of want to give a bit of review and my years of experience about this game. Maybe it's good for someone new who wants to play the game or returners who don't want to waste time. I started this game because I saw this video and found it look really challenging. I'm curious about Brel Hard encounter and wondering how much different compares some old achievement rate I have done in WoW back in the day. After I have done it and I got to know what is the difference between both, I'm pretty satisfied. I have no regret to play the game. But I would like to start talking about Brel Hard Gate 6 dispels. I don't want to talk about Gate 5. Because 5, I don't know. Whoever designed Gate 5, but I think Gate 5 is the dumbest encounter in the whole universe. So let's talk about Gate 6. I think the boss has a lot of flaws and is quite imbalanced on eye level to enter. Also, it seems to have quite a bit of bug, and it's definitely not a boss for casual. I mean, look for the most of the kills videos, and you will find that most people can clear the raid for the first week or definitely have some juiciers in their parties. You can simply just check the time. All these kills can reach Sandy under 8 minutes and complete the fight under 20 minutes, which is called as a high DPS group on these meters photos. No one will show you a raid kill the boss with full team 156 item level and show you their cards and gems. But I will just give you a couple samples of what happened if you run with 1560 eye level with Liger Salvation 18 and level 7 to 9 gems. You need around 9 to 10 minutes to reach Shandy, even with Qing Dark Bomb. And don't tell me it's just 2 to 3 minutes extra, that's no big deal. It is a very big deal because the 2 or 3 minutes you can face a lot of overlapping mechanics and easily lose a member and restarting over and over. And pretty soon your team will be losing focus, concentration, getting bad morale, etc. And please don't ever comment telling people to just get good. In my opinion, there's no bad or good players. Sure, there's some people are learn faster than the others, but the end of the day is all about practice. Try to give Brel overlaps mechanics on Twixen and let people practicing to dance with her. I'm pretty sure every even 60 years old can be a good player. So I'm not surprised why some people can kill the boss after 30 hours. Then this leads to my point. Why would they make an end boss? Most likely can be completed with juicers in their party. And chain using consumable? I mean, if that's only for one time, I can understand. But before you overgear this boss, you need to keep using dark grenades on eye level plus 6 each week. I mean, this type of fight should be put to some special achievement rate that will give you a special pads and titles by options, but not a weekly or daily grinding rate. It shouldn't be on normal hard difficulties because casual players don't have the time to study and practice, let alone farm mass to craft all this consumable for the raid. I think they should split 1 to 3 gay and 3 to 6 gay. Both give the same amount of material and gold. But you could, if you choose to do 3 to 6 gay, you can have titles and pets. I think that will make more sense since the biggest problem is about gold and time for the whole brewery. Instead of nerfing the boss, they should have given some puff for certain classes that can help prevent party member fall off the map or give some sort of combo rest. This way can help people easier to get into the party instead of just looking for 1580 plus life stations 30 full level tangents player. It might ease the gatekeeping issue a bit. The end of the day is all about surviving to complete the raid. And if you have combo rest or raid right path to prevent losing party member early, decreasing the punishment for the raid, this way you can share the burdens of a raid wide blame for one or two individual flaws. Empower the strength for some players, this way might be less toxic and more positive for the entire raid morale. All this they can be done easily, but they didn't even bother to do it, despite the fact they have learned that from Crown when people feeling too harsh and quit the game. Why? Maybe because as long as the 1% still swipe their way to get overgeared to bust, why to care about the free-to-play zombies, right? So in all, I just want to say Brel Hard 6, this is the only in-game boss that I didn't feel much joy after clearing it compared to other games. The next thing I want to share my opinions about busing culture and crime in Lost Art. I hate busing. And seriously, I think busing is the worst experience I have encountered in an MMO. I don't know what is the purpose of busing apart from the rich getting richer and easier for the game and leave the normal series of free-to-play a horrible jamming time. I watch ATK's videos about the busing reasons and the Korean player's point of view. I feel quite disgusted to be honest, especially where the part here.
When I saw people reacting to the opinions in the Korean forums, some people were furiously disagreeing with his point of one main and ults for fun. The main counter argument is, in Korean MMOs, you either grind 6 characters or plus, or pay up money to catch up investing less time. You're asking for too much without any effort. I did not understand why they had such an opinion until I understood the RMT culture in Korea. Like I mentioned Sarmok before, Korean MMOs are more convinced as investment than video games. Yes, people actually make a living off of selling gold. I thought it was a small portion of the users, but it's actually a significant amount, even if it's a gray area in terms of service. It's actually quite sad in my opinion, but it's the sad truth. I have never seen a community so sensitive about gold influx in a video game.
I think it's not just Korean gamers. Chinese gamers also have a similar mentality for gaming in general. I remember I asked one of my Welsh friends why they would like to swipe and sit on bus. He told me that's the way how they play games, by pay to win to cutting times and CBA to waiting for looking for group or don't want to waste time fighting a boss getting one shot all the time. So I was asking him, are you going to pay all the way for the bus for every new boss until Bro? I told him if you plan to do so, it's fine. But if you think you can just sit on bus and gear up after that, go get into a normal party, then you shouldn't sit on bus. Because by then you will have not much experience with how the boss fights work. And you will be dying most of the time. So what's the point? To get carry? To jail normal party? To waste other player times? ADK mentioned about the virtuous circles of gatekeeping and bust. I think the virtuous circles discussed by Juicer and Wells to begin with. Think about how they can be bus driver in the first place. And not everyone can do what, like he said, 20 times of each legendary boss to grind his way to become a Giga Check. Most likely they well their way to be able to clear the first week and then starting to busting and earn gold. So they can lean back and enjoying the game while the free-to-plays are suffer from getting jailed by imposter. The people who buying bus are not going to learn anything. And these passenger, once they have overgeared the boss and will join normal party groups, who likely will just die in the raid and get carried if the party have enough power to finish the raid. Great. If not, just getting jailed. I hate to say that, but imposters are wasting other players' time. Not to mention the whole thing will result in lack of players to make learning parties. So even mid-court players who want to learn the fight and are not going to get enough player to do so. That's why I love Crown. Because Crown is the only raid boss that was no buzzing before Brawl released. Because it took 3 men to buzz one person and it cost way too much and it was not so efficient for the bus driver. Also, I like the fact Crown is a very flexible design. For example, if you don't have time to do Mario free, you can just go 1 and 2, swap with your friends and other party members in parks. Also, the time to form a party is much faster due to only need 4 men. I gotta say, Crown is the best design of all. But anyway, I think bossing is a part of the reason slowly destroying the game itself, and it should be banned. But I know they wouldn't do it because after years of my experience in Lost Ark, I got the feeling that most of the Legion raids are punishing hard for the free to play players and rewarding the juice and wealth. While the West gamers are playing for fun, the East players are playing the game as some sort of investment. NGI don't think I like the game design very much after the crown. And the last thing I want to talk about community and the futures of the Lost Art. I find that people like to abuse to using FOMO this term to throw at players as long as we have some negative reviews about the game. It reminds me when somewhere have war and immigrant stuff going on, the internet's like to using racist this word to shut people off as soon as they have opinions about immigrants. It's pathetic. There's no such a thing as formals for gamers, in my opinion. We all have adults, and everyone most likely from 20 to 50 years old who playing this game. Are you going to tell me that player has no self-control, no thoughts about how to play games? There's always some players like to be ahead on the curves, or some on the curve, or some more chillax, or some are like this. It's a matter of a different preference how to play the game, and then you always have this Korean slave who likes to using this word to make people think everything is okay and not to get fed up with the game just so they can have enough players to for future contents or some streamer creators who have viewers to support their channels. I don't know. But the whole community is filled with copy ninja Kakashi, if you haven't watched anime, who repeat other stuff like a record machine. It's just awful community. My final thoughts about Lost Ark in the future. I think the game won't die so easily because it might just maintain somewhere about 300k player base. Because every game has its own loyal fans who love the game to death no matter what. I think if you are those type who don't cares about PvE rating so much, you can enjoy the games a lot by just picking more color codes, doing collectibles, chaos guardians, abyss dungeons, storylines. You still can have a lot of fun. But if you are PvE raiders, I would say the fun is only up to crowned or normal barrel. Anything beyond that is just a waste of time. I don't think the game depth will do much of a change in the favors of the free-to-play players. Unlike WoW, the game's profits are based on subscriptions, but in North Ark seems based on the wells or the 1%, whatever. It's hard for them to balance out between the West and the Korean player base as we have quite different game culture and play style. Not to mention this game in Korean is unchallenged. Unlike the West, we have more alternative. So I think no matter how they try to listen or change, it will still favor more to the Welsh or the Korean player base. Maybe I'm too old fashioned and too banana. I think I would like to stick with a subscription or buy to play games in the future. Well, Diablo 4 is just around the corner. It's good to have a break from games for a couple of months, spend some more time with your family, animals, kids, whatever, and then start a fresh new game. Right, I think I have babbled enough. And wherever you guys decide to play, I wish you all good luck and have fun for your journey.